A good English teacher can change your life. For many, Karen Hough is just that. The Gaither High School sophomore English teacher says teaching has always come natural to her.
I've always been a teacher, and in my head ever since I was 3 years old, teaching my dolls after nursery school. My mother tells the story. I would come home and she would catch me, instead of napping, she would catch me teaching whatever we learned that day.
But her path to teaching teenagers was not natural.
The very first struggle I had was trying to get a teaching job. They talked and talked and talked about the teacher shortage, and then when I graduated, it certainly wasn't for an English teacher. They meant math and science teachers.
So much so that Hough was forced to turn to a different job entirely. She became a guidance counselor to help students in a different way. While the job was fulfilling, Hough knew it was not where she wanted to be. She resigned from her position and worked sub-jobs until she was hired as a full-time English teacher.
That very first step of how am I going to do this? It was very frustrating trying to get a job, an interview to teach coming out of guidance because nobody wanted to give me the time of day.
Now a veteran English teacher of 30 years, Hough students say her passion for teaching is inspiring.
I really liked the way she taught. She seemed to connect with her students on a pretty deep level, which helped me and other people in the class be more involved in English and want to show up and do the work.
And co-workers say that she is a dedicated teacher.
I would describe Ms. Hough as a force in the classroom. She's absolutely focused on having her students achieve the best of their abilities.
And the best teachers still struggle to balance the demands of their job.
Probably my biggest failing is I'm very slow on grading essays because I'm not just scoring them on a rubric. I'm trying to teach kids how to write, so they have to know the mistakes that they make and how to improve it, and that takes time. So I'm bad at doing my homework, if you will.
Hough's impact in the classroom will be felt for years to come.
Her impact is evident not only with the amount of students that come back to visit her, but the amount of students that come back to visit her from college and says, everything you taught me about writing is exactly what I needed for success.
I think the way that she would talk about your work and support you and give feedback, it was in a very constructive way, and it made it so that you feel like you could go to her for questions.
I think it's in my DNA to be a teacher because I really haven't wanted to do anything else.
For The Wrangler, I'm Melissa Campos reporting.